Hi, I'm Julie Mixon. I'm an associate professor of photography from Francis Marion University, and I had the wonderful privilege of teaching photography where art and science converge this week at GoSciTech. We did a lot of great things this week. We learned about how science and art come together in photography, and we use science to create a wonderful, wonderful works of art. And I've got some special people inside who are going to show you a little bit about what we did this week. So come on inside.
Hi, I'm Grace, and I'm going to tell you about one of the many things that we did this week, camera obscurus. A camera obscura, also known as a pinhole camera, is a darkened area that has a small hole or lens at the end of it, which projects an image of an object onto a wall or surface. So pretty much any dark room could be a camera obscura. The literal meaning of camera and obscura means dark chamber or dark room. During the time when they didn't have high-tech cameras like the ones we have today, artists use these camera obscuras to trace lines to create copies of images that were accurate ones of three-dimensional objects on two-dimensional surfaces.
Hi, I'm Whitney, and we made a handheld camera obscura with this Pringle can. We made it by cutting the bottom of the Pringle can, and then inside we put the top of the Pringle can and parchment paper, and then we poked a hole with a pin in the bottom so you can look through it, and then we also wrapped it around with black tape to keep the light out so you can see an image projected.
Hi, my name is Sarah, and I'm going to tell you about pinhole photography. A pinhole camera is a box or a container that is completely dark except for a small pinhole. It can reflect images into black space. It flips it, it makes it backwards. You can preserve the images by reflecting it onto a light sensitive material or film. We did not do that kind this week, but we did use our cameras to make a pinhole camera.
What's up, y'all? I'm Angel, and this week we made a pinhole camera using our phone cameras. So how we did that was we cut a piece of aluminum out of one of these cans about the size of our phone cameras, and then we poked a hole in it using a thumbtack, and then we put it on the back of our phone cameras, and then we opened our camera app to line up the hole to center it onto the camera, and then whenever we had it where we needed it to be, we taped it. So then after we took pictures, and they turned out something like this.
Hi, I'm Alyssa. This week our class has been talking about the exposure triangle. I'll be talking about aperture. Aperture is the opening which allows light into the camera. Not only does aperture control how much light enters the camera, but also controls the field of depth and the sharpness of an image. Aperture is often measured in f numbers. The larger the f number, the smaller the aperture.
Hi, my name's Carolyn, and this week we talked a lot about shutter speed. Shutter speed is basically how fast or slow the shutter moves to take the picture. This controls how you capture movement. If you want a blurry movement across your screen, you're going to want a slower shutter speed. But if you want a frozen image of someone in motion or something in motion, you're going to want a faster shutter speed.
Hi, I'm Amelia, and I'm going to be talking about light painting. Light painting, or painting with light, is a photographic technique that uses a slow shutter speed in a camera in a dark room. Basically, you take your camera, you set it to a very low, slow shutter speed, and while it's taking the photo, you take your light, go everywhere around the room with it, and take a photo, and you have a light photo.
Hello, I'm Elle. In the beginning of the week, we learned that you need light and light-sensitive material to create a picture. So we took fogged darkroom enlarging paper and placed some objects on top of it and set it out in the sun for 30 minutes. The areas that were blocked from the sun by the objects remained the same color, but the areas that were not blocked changed. These are called lumen prints.
Hi, I'm Grace, and I'm going to talk about cyanotypes and who created them. Cyanotypes were created by John Herschel, and it's essentially where you take objects and put them on top of photosensitive chemicals, light-sensitive chemicals, and put them out in the sun, and the areas blocked by the object will show up differently than the areas not blocked by the object. And yeah.
I'm Clara, and I will be talking about how to apply the light-sensitive chemicals onto a piece of paper and get the cyanotype. So you need the chemicals, you need a piece of paper, and some sort of brush, using a foam brush here, and you just dip the brush in it and spread it and make sure to go back and forth so you get a smooth print. And then to develop it, take whatever you want to be on the picture, put it on it, and leave out in the sun or just some sort of source of UV for a varying amount of time depending on how sunny it is or how strong the source is. Once you've done that, it will probably look something like this, which then you take it under running water for about 4 to 5 minutes or until this yellowish tint you can see here is off. And if you wish to oxidize it, you need some water, about a cup top full of hydrogen peroxide, and then you dip it in that for another 4 to 5 minutes, and then you have to rinse it out in running water for 4 to 5 minutes and hang up to dry, and make sure you use gloves, that way you don't get chemicals all over your hands.
Hey, I'm Spencer. I made a certain type of cyanotype, wet cyanotype. Basically, you take a normal cyanotype, but you splash water on it like this, and it creates more texture over the cyanotype.
Sometimes, instead of using objects and plants to cover the chemicals, we use digital negatives. A digital negative is a picture printed on a transparency sheet of paper, and you put it over it for whatever your exposure time is. Exposure time is how long it sits out in the sun. And sometimes you get the exposure time wrong and the coloring gets wrong because of the contrast of the picture, but other times it turns out really good like this one.
Hi, I'm Janaya, and today I will be introducing Pinhole transfers. Pinhole transfers is a process in which you use hand sanitizer as a solvent to lift the inks off the film onto the watercolor paper.
Hi, I'm Audrey, and I'll be showing you this process. You will need Pinhole hand sanitizer, waterproof paper, ink press clear film, a digital image, tape, and a roller. First, you need to find out which side the ink is on and place this face down onto the paper. Once done, you need to place a piece of tape on top and flip the image up. Then squirt some of the hand sanitizer on the paper. Then evenly distribute. Afterwards, you place the image back onto the paper and then press it onto the paper. Lastly, you slowly lift up the image and you'll have something like this, and there are more that we made this week.
Hi, my name is Shelby and I'm currently working on a multiplicity photo. Multiplicity is a technique in photography where a person is photographed multiple times in different poses. Those pictures are then edited into one picture, giving off the effect that there is multiple of the same person in the photo. We made ours using Pixar's masking tools you see here.
All right, so you can see we had a lot of fun this week. They worked really hard. I'm very proud of them. And overall, we also learned a big takeaway, and that is we don't take photographs, we
make them. Bye.